Hi, today we'll be working with pointers, structures, and the arrow operator in C. So we're going to be using structures with pointers, and we're going to be going over what the arrow operator is. So I have my IDE open. So what we're going to do is just going to include the header file. So I've just included the input-output header file at the top, standard input and output. Here I'll just have the void main function, main as parameters, void as parameters. So we're going to construct above main. So we'll reference the struct keyword, and we'll call student. So we'll make it of type student underscore RCD. Remember just to include the square brackets and to have the semicolon at the end of the last square bracket. So that's the syntax. So here it'll have an int field. We'll just call student. We'll just call it student number. And then underneath we'll have a char type, and we'll call it name. We'll just say that has 20 elements. So it's basically a string that can hold 20 characters. So in main, what we're going to do is we're going to create a struct object of type student underscore RCD, so student record. We'll create one object named record. We'll make it an array of 10 elements, and then we'll have a pointer RP. So a pointer, so what it really is it's really so I'll just comment it out just to show you what it is. So it's struct underscore student RCD, and it's just a pointer RP like that. So that's what's really being said here. So we have a pointer and a record. So we have a pointer, and a record. We have a RP pointer and a record array. So underneath here, I'll just call struct again, and we'll say that we have of type student RCD. We'll call it test. Here we'll just set test dot student number. So to access test instance data, we just use the dot operator or the fields, and then we'll just say test dot student. We'll access the student dot number field, or student underscore number. We'll just set it equal to 10. And then here we'll just have to go down to some other methods that we'll have to create. So one's just going to be called, it's going to be return void, and we'll just call it print RCD. Print record, it's going to take a struct. It's going to take a struct type student record. So it's going to take a struct type student underscore record, and we're just going to name it RCD. And here we're just going to print the number string. So we're just going to say we're going to print an alert or a message to the user, it's just going to have the string number, semicolon, and then we'll pass in a format specifier here. We'll say %d. We'll throw a new line. Then we'll just pass in RCD, so we'll call our records, our student, our struct type student RCD. We'll call our RCD object. We'll access the student underscore number field. So it's just going to print whatever that field is. And here we'll just print the name as well, with a %s and a new line. And then we'll just access rcd.name. Do we have a name? RCD. So up here, so we have an int student number and a char name. Oh, I forgot a semicolon there. I think that's what it is. Well, that was causing errors down here. Okay, so that's okay now. So put a semicolon there as well. So we have name. We're printing the student number and the name. That's all that's happening here. And underneath we'll have another method to take some input to change the structure data, the structure object data with a pointer. So we'll call void here. So returns void. We'll say read underscore RCD, and we'll say, so we have struct. We have student underscore RCD. So we have a method, just to recap, we have the method that returns void named read underscore RCD. It takes a parameter which takes a struct type of type student underscore RCD, and which is also going to be a pointer. So it's going to take a type struct student underscore RCD pointer RCD, so it can pretty much it's going to take any struct student RCD pointer, because you can pass in, it doesn't have to be the same name for RCD. It could just be like we could just pass in pointer RP, and it'll just going to check as long as it's a type of struct struct student underscore RCD, it'll satisfy the requirements. So here we'll just call printf. Then we'll say enter the number. Whoops. So it's just an alert to ask for the number. Then here we'll have scanf. So we'll call the scanf function. What we're going to do is take input. So we're going to take input from the user, from their keyboard or mobile device, which is going to be looking for a number, or it's going to save the type as a number. We don't have error checking to make sure it's not a letter or anything, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is, for scanf, you need to call the address of. We're going to call RCD, and here's where we're going to use the the arrow operator. So the arrow operator allows us to access a struct from a pointer, a struct's field. So it allows you to take a struct pointer and point to a field that you want, pretty much. So here let's just say we want the student number. So what you can do is you can also take the pointer, like star RCD or asterisk RCD. You can put it in brackets, then call the dot operator. something like that. But this way it's a little easier and allows you to use a different operator, because maybe sometimes you get bored of the asterisk, so that the arrow can help you maybe just access it in a different way. So it seems to be an easier way. You guys can use whatever way that you want. So that's just what the arrow operator does. So here we'll just have another alert. So we're going to ask to enter the name. Ask the user to enter their name, and then we'll call scanf again to take the input for what they enter. Well, we're going to say that they're going to enter a string. So we'll say %s, and then we'll add full reference RCD. So we want to reference, we want to take the pointer RCD or whatever pointers that's passed in, and we're going to want to point to its name field. So we're going to take the name, whatever name they enter is going to get saved to the name field. Whatever number they enter is going to get saved to the student number field. That's being pointed to by the address of RCD. So it's going to point to the address of RCD and save it to the field of student number. So hopefully that all makes sense. Once you grasp it, it's not too hard. It's pretty simple. You're just pointing to the memory location, then accessing the structs field that's being referenced to by a pointer. So hopefully you guys understand. So then now we'll just go back to the main method. So we'll call print. We'll call our method print RCD. We're gonna have to prototype this, I think, again. So to prototype, we'll have to just copy it like this, and then we'll have to put it under the struct, I believe. Tag a semicolon on, kind of like an interface. You have to put the semicolon at the end. Like in Java, you have to put the semicolon after the interface of the method. But here we're just taking the function, and pretty much it's similar. So now we've prototyped it, so the compiler knows that we're going to be calling these methods, and they're defined after main. I think you can define these methods before main and you don't have to prototype, but in this case we needed to. So then now we can call the methods here. So we'll call print underscore RCD. We'll just print out test data fields. Then we'll say we want to read underscore RCD, so we want to change the fields, which takes a pointer. So just to recap, so print RCD just takes a parameter of a struct student RCD type. And we're passing in exactly that with test, which is of type struct student RCD. So we're passing in test to that function. Then for read RCD, it takes a struct student underscore RCD type as well, but in this case it takes a pointer, so it takes a struct type student underscore RCD pointer RCD. So it's looking for a pointer of the type struct student underscore RCD. So that for read underscore RCD, we need to pass it a pointer. So here we decided to pass it an address. So we passed it the address to test. So it's going to point to the address of test in the memory. So we'll debug it after if you're still confused. Then here we'll just call the other struct that we have, the record, the student underscore RCD record struct. So we have two here. This is one and this is the other one. Actually we have three. We have the pointer too. I don't think we used pointer RP. That's okay. So it's just extra. So we have record. Yeah, it says local variable is never used. That's alright. So here we have record. You guys seen that meme with the guy that's like waiting for something? He's like has his hands behind his back. He's like sitting by himself at the dinner table. I don't know if you guys saw that one. It's funny, where it's like you have a variable that you never used, and it's like a man waiting, always waiting. It's funny if you haven't seen it. It's like some Mediterranean guy or something, so it's pretty funny. So now we'll just call the record student underscore RCD named record struct. So then we'll access array index 0. Then we'll pass in dot student. So we'll call the dot operator, and then we'll access student underscore number. So we're accessing record of array index 0's student underscore numbers field, student underscore number field, and we're just going to set it to 5. So what's really happening here is we have our struct student underscore RCD named record, and that really just has 10 indexes to fill inside. So index 0 will have like a field for a student number, an int student number, and a char name. And then index 1 will have it'll have a int student number and a char name. So we can maybe set those at the end. So I'll just make a note, come back and set some more indexes, just to practice, to add some more. So we have record of array index 0 dot student underscore number is set to 5. So that's pretty much it. I'll just set a breakpoint here. Here, I don't think we'll get to this one, so probably just maybe this one. It doesn't really go until the first initialization, usually. So we'll save that. I'm running this in my external console. Run's not going to work. There's a glitch in C-line at this time. So you won't be able to see the output, but I'll try to explain it to you. Okay, so we can see that we have in our local variables a record struct of type student underscore RCD, and then we have a test. We have a struct named test of type student underscore RCD as well. They're just set to garbage values at this point. So we'll just step over that. I'm going to click the step over button, and that's going to execute that line. It hasn't been executed yet. When I step over it, then it's executed. So what happened is tests the struct student underscore RCD test, its student underscore number field got set to 10. So if I click test in our local variables and I click on the student underscore number, you can see that it got set to an int, which is 10. And then here, so now it's going to execute the print underscore RCD function. We're passing in the test struct as parameters. So this time I'm not going to step over, I'm going to click the step into button. That's going to jump into the method print underscore RCD. So we have a struct here. So we're passing, oh sorry, where were we? Yeah, so we were here. So we print underscore RCD, we passed in the struct test. So now RCD is really test, because it takes a struct RCD in the formal parameters. And the actual parameters, it took a test struct as well. So the struct was named test in the actual parameters. In the formal parameters, it was named RCD, but right now it's being named RCD. So it's saying, okay, so first we're just going to print out the student number. So you can see that before test we set the student number to 10, right? So we set the test, we set test.student number to 10. Now we can see that RCD student number is set to 10. So that's why that's happening, is because it's really test. We never set RCD student number to 10. So what's really happening is it's test. So hopefully you guys understand that. It can get a little confusing sometimes. So just practice with it and you'll understand. So once we execute that, it'll get printed to my external console, which you guys can't see, so it's just printing out number and 10. So then now we're going to print out the name string, and it's going to be rcd.name. So we never set RCD's name again. Actually, we never even set test's name, so it should be empty in that case. So it's just going to print enter name, and it's just going to be a blank there because we never set RCD's name, or we never set test's name in this case. So we're going to set it after. So I will execute that line by hitting the step over button. And in my output it just says name and there's no value. So after that function's over, that bracket's going to end, and there's going to be like an imaginary arrow that's going to go back to read RCD, because since we just finished print RCD. So there we go, we're at read RCD now. So read RCD takes a struct student underscore RCD pointer RCD. So it takes a pointer of type struct student underscore RCD. So this time we decided to pass it a address to test. So I'm going to click the step into button. So here we're going to ask for an alert or a message to the user, enter the number. Now we're going to, once I hit step over again, it's going to wait for input to set to the address of test, and it's going to point to the student. It's going to set whatever I enter to the student underscore number field. We could just say like the number is like it's 100. I want to hit enter. So now that 100 got saved to, if I click RCD, I think it's the same object as being printed twice. Sometimes it glitches out like that. So we have the student number now set to 100, which before it was set to 10, so it's now, you can see that it's been changed. So now if we execute this line, it's just going to print out the alert, enter the name to the user. So now after I execute this line, it's going to wait for input from the user, which is going to be a string, and it's going to be set to the pointer RCD's addresses name field. So I'll just enter a name here. Just enter, like, just say the name Seafair, so SEAFAIR. So that was set. So now if we click the name field, we can see that the characters got set to Seafair. So index 0 is S, index 1 is E, index 2 is A, index 3 is F, index 4 is A, index 5 is I, index 6 is R, and then the last index should be null. So yeah, that's it. So hope you guys understand, and we'll just change those. We'll just set some more those remaining indexes. So we'll say actually maybe I can just do a print here just to I can spoof it or something just to get it to wait here. So we'll just say printf that is just like a wait. So I'll just set a breakpoint here, take those ones out, so that way we can see what the data is before that line gets executed. So we'll just debug it. So we can see that, where's our variables? Okay, there we go. Seems like it's glitched out, so I'll just stop that, save it, and then re-debug it. Oh, it's waiting for the input, right? Because we had to enter a number. So I'll just enter 1,000, and then we have enter a name. What's a good name? I'll just put BC, like the province, and then we'll have. Okay, so now it's waiting. So if we check the record field, we can see that record has 10 elements, indexes, sorry, and index 0 has a student number and a name, which the student number is set to 5. The name is it's all null because we haven't set it. So index 0 has a student number and a name. Index 1 has a student number and a name. Index 2 has a student number and a name. So they all have a student number and a name all the way to index 10. So it's really a struct containing 10 other structs. So that's kind of the point of it. So it's like, okay, well, we want to create a struct of type student underscore RCD. We're going to call it record. We're going to say, okay, well, this record is an array of 10 elements, and each element has, or 10 indexes. So we'll just say, okay, well, we're going to create this array of type struct student underscore RCD. We're going to call it record, and we're going to say it has 10 indexes 0 to 9, and each index is a struct itself, is a student underscore record, and since it's a student underscore record, that means each index has a student number field and a name field. So here we'll just set a few just to show that. So we'll just say record of index 0 dot student underscore number is set to 5. We'll just do the same thing. We'll reference record of index 0. We'll say dot name, and we'll just set it to like Tina. What's wrong with that? Excuse me. I apologize, I need a string here. Okay, there we go. So we need a okay, so before we set the name, so record of index 0 dot name is set to before we change the name we set the name with the pointer. So now we're just going to have to we're going to have to set each index itself. So like name of array index 0, maybe set to t. That might work. So we might have to do that for all of them. So it's a little tricky. So you have to access array record of array index 0 dot name of array index 1. Then we'll set it to I. And we'll say record of array index 0 dot name of array index 2. Set to n. We'll say record of array index 0 dot name of array index 3 is set to a, and that should be it. So let's just see what we get there if it got set. So we'll just run the debugger again. So we needed a number here, so I'll just enter a number and a name. So enter a number and a name just to get to that part. And we can see that our record of array index 0, number got set to 5. And the name was set to 0, 2, 4, and 6. So it looks like it wasn't set correctly, so we have some garbage values here. So we have name, record of array index 0. We call dot name. We may need to actually use a pointer. To set it. So let's try that. So let's take that out. We'll just say we can set it in maybe in read RCD. So we'll just say printf here. We'll just create another alert and we'll say enter a name for record of array index 0. We could just try that. And here we'll say, okay, we'll take a scanf. We may need to add another pointer. We're going to say we want to point it to record. So it's going to take another struct student underscore RCD record of array index 0. Actually, whoops, that's the wrong method. Apologize. So I'll just cut that, and I'll move it down here. There's 2 commas there. Okay, so we'll see that it takes a struct student pointer to record. pointer to record. Let's just see what that error is. Inflection of types probably from the call. Maybe I'll just say and record of array index 0. Oh, what happened there? Oh, okay, yeah, so this one will have to be changed. The prototype will have to be changed too, so we'll just take that. I just want to access index 0. It might not let us do that, but we can try it. So here we'll say read RCD takes another parameter. So it seems to be working now. If it doesn't work, you might have to trial and error it, so just take the index out. So we're saying, okay, well now our struct takes, our read RCD function takes 2 structs. This time we're taking the pointer to record of array index 0. And for read RCD, it's looking for a pointer to struct of array index 0. So now we'll say, okay, well here we're going to try to set it. We're going to say, okay, well we want to set the string. We want to set a string, so we're going to say we want %s, and we're going to say, okay, we want then record to point to name. Record of array index 0 to point to name. There you go. Might be working. And what I just somehow copied it magically. Didn't mean to. Okay, I meant to save it. So let's try that and see if it sets it. We can try to set it that way. So that might be the only way to set it, because the string was kind of already compiled at compile time. Something to do with that. So that might be the only way to actually set the array index strings, is to use the actual pointer. So we can try to set a name for record, and then at the end we'll maybe just set a few more of the student numbers. And if you want, we can continue to add more fields to add the rest of the indexes, or we could loop it or something. But hopefully you guys are understanding, so let's try that. We don't really need the weight this time. Actually, we might. Actually, yeah, we might, because we want to set that and see if the rest got set. So let's keep the weight. We'll just move that up. That's okay, so let's save that and debug it. Just see if it worked. Okay, so it seems to be working for now. So we'll just enter a name, a number and a name. Enter a name for record of array index 0. So student number and student name. It looks like it's still not set. We have EAP, so it looks like it gave us something else than what we wanted to enter. So maybe we need to change the pointer and perhaps something else. So I'm just going to check here. So we asked it to enter a name. It takes a struct student underscore RCD pointer to array index 0, record of array index 0, which is what we passed it. Okay, so it says incompatible pointer type, passing struct student underscore RCD to parameter of type student underscore RCD. Maybe because I named them the same? No. So it's saying we can cast it. We're passing it a struct, so read RCD. We're passing it a pointer to record of array index 0. We're saying that it takes a pointer. So I'll just try casting it, see what that changes it. Okay, so let's try that. So we might have had it because it's giving us the ASCII table characters. So I could just have a look at what those are. So I'm just pulling up the ASCII character index. ASCIItable.com, so I went to ASCII-table.com, so it says we have 31 for the first one, decimal, then 2, yeah, so it looks like it wasn't set correctly, so I might have to play with it for a while till I get it and then come back to the video. So that's what I'll probably do, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, just back with the struct. So just, if you guys just saw, I was just trying to figure out why it wasn't working. So it looks like I did get it to work. I think the reason behind why the string wasn't being set to index 0, because there is a warning here or a message. So what did I change actually? So I think this stayed the same. I might have changed this from array index 0 to just a pointer to record. So before I was saying, okay, well I wanted a pointer to record. I might have been saying actually, I'll have to rewind it, or you guys can rewind it and see what I was doing before. But I think here I was saying I want a pointer to record of array index 0. So I think I just changed it and saying, okay, well I just want my prototype to just take a pointer to a record of type struct and then of type student underscore RCD. So we're just looking to point to the record struct instead of array index 0. Excuse me, so pretty much we can change whatever index we want this way. Then in the read RCD method, I did the same. Did I take the index out? I might have. So we're just saying, okay, well, we want to set the record, we want to point to record. We want to point to the record struct array. But we don't need to specify what index, I guess. And here, when I had the when I had the arrow operator, it was telling me that record of array index 0 wasn't a pointer. So that's true, it's not really a pointer, because record of array index 0 is not a pointer. Record is a pointer, because we have record. But record of array index 0 is not a pointer. To set the index 0. Sorry, to set index 0, we might just need to do that. So pretty much we just need to do that. We don't need to use the arrow operator because it's not a pointer in this case. It's really just we're referencing record of array index 0. So just to show you guys that it worked. So I'll just enter some random stuff here. And okay, so if I enter a name for record, Tina again, then if you see, it's waiting now. It's stuck at waiting. So if we click the record of array index 0, of array index name, oh, it didn't work. Just joking. Yeah, it did. So we have index 0 pointing to T, index 1 pointing to I, index 2 pointing to N, index 3 pointing to A. So you can see now that it was set. So for some reason, it didn't like when we just set it like this. We can try that again just to clarify that, so we could just comment that out. So when we said record of array index 0 dot name was set, I don't think it let us set it. That's what happened the first time. Yeah, so I'll have to stop that process. It's not liking that. Yeah, so it's telling us it's not assignable. But if we do it through there, it's assignable. Perhaps because we have to point to it. So that might be the reason behind that. What if we just set it to 1 character? Record of array index 0 dot name of array index 0. I think we already tried that. We must have tried that. Could we just use a pointer here? Pointer to I think we need to set it up like this. I think that's the only way for it to work. Record of array index 0 dot name of array index 0. Because I think we already tried this way, so if we just try that, it doesn't work that way. Oh, let's see, test. We have record. Yeah, so it didn't let us set it that way. So the only way to set it is the way, pretty much the long way, like that. Unless you set it up initially. Or perhaps since it's an array, it wants us to use pointers to get there. I feel like there could be another way to somehow do it from here. Can we say, okay, well, we want 2. Yeah, the thing is we don't have any pointer 2 at this point. Yeah, maybe we could do this. We could say, address of, maybe that's why that RP is sitting there. So we have RP, let's just say we want to point it to record. No, is that working? No, it's not working. Expression is not assignable, okay. Oh, I think I'm mixing that up here. So we have RP points to the address of record. There we go. Okay, so now, then we can say, we want to then say RP, you want to access the name, and set it to Tina. No, it doesn't like that. It's not assignable. Okay, so pointing to name of. Okay, so wait a minute, we're missing the index. Then we're going to say, okay, well, we want can we say we want RP star? What happened there? Expected expression online 19. Nope. Okay, so yeah, so both ways it doesn't like that, so pretty much I think the only way to set it is through the method with the pointer. That way. I feel like there's still a way to do this somehow. Or there probably is. So we're saying, okay, well, RP points to the address of record of array index 0. Then we were trying for the pointer value. We wanted RP to point to the name. Could we set it this way? Yeah, we just tried that way. Okay, so let's say we want, can we try 0? It's telling me, is that a warning? It's telling me to cast it now. And so we're saying, okay, why is it, name is a pointer, so anyways, we'll just try this way. What's wrong with this? Okay, so we'll just see if this works. So we'll just try 0, 1. Sometimes it's good to just see if there's other ways to do the same thing too. Just to play around, see what we can do with it. So we have 0, 1, 2. What's happening here? So we have, that's not being copied. Okay, so we have 3. We'll just test and see if that gets set. So we'll just save that and run it. So I'm just entering some data for the other fields. Yeah, so it looks like that was the only way to do it. So hopefully that's going to conclude the video today. Hopefully you guys understand at least one way to do it, and you guys learned about structures, pointers, and the arrow operator. So if you like the video, you can like the video, and you can subscribe for more videos, for programming videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.